the day that he decides to show up, the defense doesn't. I want the whole package. I want the whole thing this time.
I'll tell you what, Romeo Doubs is looking good. He is going to be wide receiver number 1 by the end of the season. Book it.
Dillon are going to be part of this. They're going to get a lot of catches this year. They're going to get even more. Jones already showed that he can handle a big load of catches.
9 different receivers had 90 or more yards, in the 7 games that Devontae was out.
He stuck with this team for so long. He said he wants to retire here. Why not just let it be?
Hey everybody, this is Gerhard de Beer, former Green Bay Packer offensive lineman, and you're watching Frozen Tundra Network with Bill the Packer fan and Packer owner Nick. Enjoy.
What's up, everybody? What's up? Frozen Tundra Network is back.
I thought I was watching the Chinese flick.
It is Super Bowl Sunday this weekend, and we got football, baby. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And look, as much as I am a hardcore Packers fan, this is going to be a great game. I can't wait to have some great food with some great friends. Hope everybody has a great time. Now, to start off the show, first of all, I got my co-host here, Bill, the motherfucking Packer fan. Thank you for being here.
What's up, everybody? What's up?
We got John Dorn, we got Ada, we got Rob, we got Ken, we got the whole crew here tonight. I want to start off, and I know we took a few weeks off. Week 17 hurt, or week 18, I'm sorry, week 18 kind of hurt, and we took a few weeks off to think about it. I want to start off with what happened out there, Bill? What happened out there?
It wasn't good, man. It wasn't good. We finished out getting beat by the shitty-ass Lions, man. Like, how much shittier could the season end, It's almost like a spit in the face and embarrassment because that team is pretty horrid,
I don't think
how can we lose against the same old Lions? I just don't get it.
We win every time in this situation, and we're put in a really awkward situation right now where we lost this time. Yeah, so go ahead, John. Tell us what you saw.
What I saw was, we were actually winning during the game. Till the third quarter, and then fourth quarter, Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers, throwing interceptions, and then we could have a meltdown in our defense. It's kind of what happened. It's starting to get the same old shit,
So I do want to talk about the Aaron Rodgers interception real quick. I cannot, as much as if Aaron Rodgers sucked that game, I'm going to give him all the blame, but I can't give Aaron Rodgers the blame for that game. I just straight up cannot at all. The interception he threw, he had 0.00001 seconds to throw the ball, and he made a decision that Kirk Cousins couldn't. He didn't throw it for a 2-yard dump off. He just went, you know what? This is the game, man. I'm just going to go for it. Hope that my receiver comes down with it. Look, the defensive guy on the Lions, he made a great play. Made a great play on it. They played great defense. He was doubled. It was a bad pass. I get all that. But when you're rushed that fast and you have no time to throw the ball, which was all game for him, it felt like.
Yeah. Our offensive line was horrible that game.
Our whole line has been horrible all year, man. That was
they're ranked up higher. I don't get it. How they're ranked so high.
Well, this is why I don't like Pro Football Focus a lot of times because they will rank people in certain areas where I'm like that. There's just no way that that's true.
Exactly.
There was a game where Aaron Rodgers played against the Bears against Mitch Trubisky, and Mitch Trubisky got a higher rating in PFF for the game, and they got killed, destroyed that game. So. Let's go, Ken. I know that you want to talk about this game. What'd you see out there, man?
What my impression of the game was, we showed up, but didn't really have that edge that we needed, where they came in looking to punch us right in the mouth, and we just kind of stood there and took it. That it was just.
Yeah, we just played like the first 12 games. That's why we played the first 12 games like crap. That's how we played that last game. Everything we built up to it, all that momentum we built up to, we just threw it out the window to play like shit out against a shitty-ass, average fucking Lions team. It's ridiculous.
And why is it in our big games that we need, Jones always fumbles, and Rodgers always throws an interception, and always in important games.
Well, the Jones fumbled a lot this year, man. I can't believe 5 fumbles for the season. I mean,
that fumble in that moment of the game at the end of the first, that killed us.
Yep, I think that right there is what beat the whole team. As soon as he fumbled, it was one of those. Oh well, here we go again.
We're looking at scoring to go into the half and like basically make this out of control for them. And when you fumble that ball the way that he did, like. It took the wind out of our sails like completely. It just sucks, man. But Rob,
don't get me wrong. I love Jones and all, but he tries to do just a little bit too much at times.
It seems to be in the biggest moments he fumbles the ball. Like
I understand what he's doing because this past year I think he was our best player. But
regardless, he's been our best player for a few years, I think. I mean, he's been old reliable at the running back position. He catches out of the flat. I mean, he does. Half the time when you throw that quick pass, that 10-yard pass, I don't even know it's him. He just pops up and there he is.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest about something, Jones had to be the most. We had to rely a great deal on Jones throughout the whole year. Like, think about the way this season started. Like,
we did.
We've seen a great deal. We've seen a great deal of regression from Rodgers. No chemistry he had with the receivers that had to be built up. So, of course, much of our offense had to go through Jones and Dillon.
I agree with you on the regression part with Rodgers, but I think there's more context to that. So, look, I actually was about to put this up, Bill. Thank you, Greg. We're not saying he's not a great back. What I'm getting at is Aaron Jones has this weird tendency to fumble the ball at the most worst times ever, and I don't know why. He really does.
Playoff games too, or if got to get into the playoffs, he always fumbles.
But I never looked at him as a fumbler till this year, bro. I mean, seriously, he's maybe fumbled once or twice in his. Before this year, if you go back and look, it's probably 3 times since he's been a Packer that I've seen him drop the ball.
He always drops it during the playoff games. Every playoff game he played so far, I think he fumbled.
Really? Yeah. That could be it. That could be it.
The NFC Championship game, one of the biggest things that happened in the NFC Championship game was that fumble. That was one of the biggest moments in that game. Other than King giving up that touchdown, Aaron Jones, first possession of the second half. Let's go out and let's get back in this game, right? Nope, fumble. They score a touchdown off of it immediately. That fumble at the end of the first half, that killed us. But now I want to talk about a few other things. We know we didn't play to win the game. We played like dog shit. Fine. What about first of all, I've never seen anything like what Rasul Douglas did. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. So, okay, fine. You grab the ball. Hey, guy pushes you. Why don't you just stand there and go, did you see that, ref? Instead, Rasul Douglas goes like this to dude. Now we get a penalty. Dude, what are you doing? Now, not only that, Quay Walker, what are you doing, man?
Well, I think Quay was all blown on a portion. I think what happened was he thought a player pushed him and then he pushed it and realized, oh, shit.
Yeah, it was reaction. I really believe it was reaction.
Yeah. I don't care what it is. What happened was
it was stupid.
It was stupid, yeah.
Got pushed. Like, there's it doesn't matter what the context of that is.
And then people are.
I don't necessarily think it's bad because I see it as pure aggression that's coming out in him, and that with him being so young and being thrust into that role, that he's just got to learn to control it just a little bit. Because I love the violence out of him. I think it's good. Just needs to be targeted a little better.
I would agree with you more if he didn't push his own coach in Georgia.
Oh, see,
right.
I'm not too big of a college guy myself.
So in Georgia, he pushed his own coach.
Let's be honest. Some of them Georgia guys had that mentality problem before. Like, it wasn't just with Quay. We even have it with the.
It don't matter. You're in the pros, man. Act professional, bro.
Well, no, A-Dub has a good point because Devontae Wyatt looked like he was about to throw hands with the medical guy too all of a sudden. It was like, what are you guys doing, man?
Makes you wonder if that guy said something as he was going in.
Doesn't matter. He could be just, dude, that's the other team trying to get you to get a penalty, man. Shut up. You're in the middle of a game. Just be professional, bro. They pay you to be professional and play the game.
I want Bill. Bill, I want you to answer this for me.
What's up?
Because do you honestly look, maybe that happened, Ken, but do you honestly think that the medical guy running onto the field to help someone said something heinous to Devontae White? Like, come on. Or Trey Walker?
No, what I read was that the guy stepped on his toes.
Oh, jeez.
And that's what his reaction ended up being.
Is
I
he
know
a ballerina?
there's
no excuse for that whatsoever.
Yeah, that was the excuse that he was trying to give.
Well, you don't know. He could have had turf toe, man. A big old taped up toe. Someone step on that. That would piss me off,
play
bro.
with composure. You got to play with composure.
I agree. I'm not saying that. Yeah, in the middle of a game, you're a pro, man. You're getting paid millions of dollars to be a professional. You fucking should act like it.
Well,
you're representing the team too, man.
When that dude body slammed that dude.
So
look, it was an embarrassment, man. It embarrassed me as a fan to see that kind of bullshit going on in that game. That was just you're breaking down. I know we're losing, but act pro, man. Don't fucking make it worse and be stupid.
That didn't cost us the game, but that sure the hell didn't help.
No, it didn't help, bro. None of that.
I mean,
you could argue those two really stupid penalties in those critical moments, and not only that, the Aaron Jones fumble, you could sit there and say that we actually should have won that game, but we mentally, as a team, absolutely broke down, man.
Yeah.
And the Lions, they didn't make those mistakes.
That was the sad part, man. I mean, they got us all hyped up, man. They had 5-6 games in a row. We just destroyed and put 40 on the Vikings, and then to come out and play like that.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, that just.
So what do you guys think? Would Aaron Rodgers being on a trading block and possibly be moved? What grade would you guys give him for the season?
I'd give him a D.
You would give him a D?
I would. I didn't think he played well at all this year. I was actually mortified and embarrassed watching him all year, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Really?
I mean, I give him a C. I give him a C just because the problems at the beginning of the year weren't his fault. I mean, the team didn't give him no talent.
Yeah,
clearly.
You can say all you want, but
here's the deal.
He hasn't been in a training camp since what? The voluntary camps, he wasn't there. He just came in at the I gotta go to mandatory camp, so he shows up there. That's bullshit. Be a leader and be in all the fucking camps, from the beginning.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? And
go ahead, A-Dub. You wanted to respond, A-Dub?
Yeah, I'm just saying, as far as the grade goes, it is like I said before. He didn't have much of any chemistry with the receivers he had out there, as well as he showed signs of regressing during the year. So I give him about a C.
So
that's fair. That's fair.
Great. That's great. The chemistry part, real quick. The chemistry part, that's great and everything. But I just want to point out, when I give him a D, I'm giving him an individual grade without any of the external context of who he's playing with, what happened, the situations. I'm literally saying that Aaron Rodgers played at a D level this year individually by himself. That's how I feel about it.
Well, you got to figure he hasn't had a 200-yard game fucking since
300-yard game all year.
300.
300 yard.
They go like 23 games in a row. That's pretty bad. When you go 23 games, it's all 300 games. That's pretty bad.
So what was
out of those 23 games? How many of those were losses, man? I mean, come on, man. He had back-to-back 13-3 seasons. That's not playing bad, man. I mean, I'm not saying Rodgers didn't drop down this year, but he did lose something this year. But I think a lot of it, dude, has to do with the frustrations and not having any talent to help him at the beginning of the season.
Kind of gave up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting frustrated with your job.
I think part of it's ego. I think part of it's like, hey, I don't need to be here if you guys aren't going to perform for me. Now, if we're going to go into actual context of how the whole team played this year, you can sit there and say, hey, man, the wide receivers dropped the second most passes in the entire NFL this year. And when I watched Lazard right in his hands for a first down, drops it on third, shit like that. You know what I mean? That's unacceptable. But
Lazard's overrated. I'm glad.
Bro, it so aggravated me when he was talking like he should have been owed something to stay in Green Bay.
13 to 17.
You dropped a lot of passes this year, bro.
Come on, there's no
a
way.
lot of third down passes, a lot of crucial, keep the drives going, and hit that sumbitch in the hands, and he dropped it.
Well, I would love to watch the interview where it asked him like 15 to 17 million. He goes, "Well, I'm a really good blocker." Like, okay,
right.
Well, let's be honest about something. We had to depend on Lazard to show up and perform as the so-called number one guy after we let go of Devontae Adams. Like, who else could we depend on as our number one after certain moves were made as far as certain receivers?
But bro, do you really think he showed up? Do you really believe he showed up to replace Devontae?
I think A-Dub is saying before the season started, that's where we were at, is we had to rely on Lazard. And let's be honest, guys, he sorely disappointed us. He failed.
He didn't deliver. That's what I'm saying. He didn't deliver at all.
How you doing, Christopher? Glad to have you watching, bud.
Because look, now that the season has ended, I think all of us can sit here and take what you just asked, what A-Dub is talking about, and we can go, well, we have Christian Watson now, and I know he can number one. We have Dobbs, who is, in my opinion, he looks like he's going to be a very, very complimentary number two. Like, that's exactly how it looks.
And
so
Torrey actually looks pretty good himself, so I like Torrey.
I do too. I like Torrey too.
So let's be clear about this. One thing that I can't stand is I'm watching all these mock drafts that Packers fans do, and it drives me nuts because they're choosing a wide receiver in the first round.
Hell yeah.
Why? That's a wasted draft pick.
No.
Yes, it is.
Well,
first of all,
let
me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, John. Do you believe that Watson and Dobbs are going to be really good?
What gets hurt, we're fucked.
It actually does matter because why would you waste a first-round draft pick on a guy to fight for the third spot? Why?
Well, I want a number one receiver just to piss off Aaron.
We have a number one receiver.
He said just to piss off Aaron.
Yep.
Oh, that would piss me off.
Selfish reasons, John. Selfish reasons.
Well,
that they waited all this time.
Okay, we're gonna have 2 first rounds once we trade Rodgers away, right? So the first one we get a receiver, the second one a tight end, then the third one a pass rusher.
I just hate that.
A safety.
I like that.
I absolutely hate that.
If I was to think about where anybody's going with it to go get a receiver in the first round, it's a matter of trying to reconfigure our wide receiving corps since we're supposed to be starting over young at that position.
So that comes to my next topic, though. You guys have already brought up. Should we draft another pass rusher?
Absolutely.
Tell me in the comments, yes or no. Should we draft another pass rusher?
With our first round pick, it should be either pass rusher or safety. Those should be the only options with our first round pick.
Yeah, because probably if we don't lose Gary, we win at least maybe 3 more games with a better pass rush.
Oh yeah.
I mean, with Rashawn Gary being out for the time of the first few games of the season, we're going to need somebody to cover that position for him.
So this is something I think we have to acknowledge. That Big Bob Tonyan, he looked like he could be it, and then he had that injury, and he just doesn't look like he's it, man. He just doesn't look like it. This was a poor season for him.
I'd be good with a tight end at number one. I'll tell you that.
Like the guy from Notre Dame.
I was thinking a tight end or a pass rusher for sure.
I mean, it puts another pair of hands out there, and it's not a wide receiver that we don't need. You know what I'm saying? A number one.
Right.
See, one thing about it, I'm not worried about the defense on this draft. I'm not worried about. We can get. I'm serious. A pass rusher I could see, but otherwise, I'd rather go all offense. Our offense is so horrible last year.
We need O-line help big time.
So what do you guys think about this? Should we probably get a new defensive coordinator?
I wish we could.
Look,
please.
I'm actually on the fence compared to most Packers fans.
He redeemed it at the end.
If Barry is going to start coaching like he did the back end of the year, I'm all for it, man. Because if you're going to let Jay Alexander sit there and go, I'm taking this guy today. If you're going to unleash the way that he did in the Dolphins game, in the Vikings game, see what I'm saying? If you can develop and you can adapt, then I'm for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if he starts doing that, I would actually be for him. I hate Barry.
Well, one thing about it, we got rid of Jerry Gray, which sucks. I hate to see him go. But,
So,
but our defense main thing was communication. They couldn't talk to each other. You know, it's when we send a receiver down line, they're not going to commute. You know, here we got the younger defensive coordinator, and he's going to come in and he's going to, I think, make that backfield a lot better. That communicating a lot better. You know,
so
that's why I like it's younger.
But Bill's question is, should Barry be on the hot seat? The answer is yes, absolutely yes.
Tell us in the comments your thoughts. Should Joe Barry be in the hot seat?
The answer is yes, and my answer though, because the first question was, should he be fired? Like, I thought he showed that he adapted in the second half. If he's going to continue that and not play zone all the time, let's see what he can do, because we played great defense for good 6-7 games in a row right there, right?
See, I think he should be on a short leash, just like Dan Campbell.
Well, if I felt the one thing, if there was for me to think he could be in the hot seat, my biggest complaint with him is like, you got our defense playing out of their element. Like these guys, like some of these guys are not accustomed to a certain scheme in a certain setting. Like you got them playing zone coverage when most of our players are more adaptable to the man kind of scheme. The type of that's what I felt what it came down to. Just the kind of scheme Joe Barry put together for them to be outside of their element, outside of what they're used to.
I was just going to simply ask, just real quick, why are you going into nickel with Russell Douglas in your slot if you're just going to play zone the whole time? What's the point?
So let's go into the next topic. This is going to definitely get some people all jittered up. Are you ready for this one? Is it Jordan Love's turn? Tell us in the comments, yes or no. What do you guys think? Is it Jordan Love's turn, or should we look for a veteran if Rodgers leaves? What do you?
I want John Dorn to start with this one because I know he's heavily.
Everybody knows what John Dorn thinks.
Spotlight.
So David Gray, my bad, John Dorn. Go ahead and tell us what you think.
Yeah, definitely. I'm ready for that Jordan Love train. I mean, what has Rodgers done in the past 2 years? It's just same old crap. We get there, we get disappointed every fucking time. And tell you the truth, the best for our team is to get rid of them now. At least get a draft pick for them. Get whatever we can get for them, and start building our team. We gotta get younger.
So honestly, John Dorn, let me just ask you: do you believe Jordan Love is better than Rodgers?
I think he's not better, but I think I think we can win just as many games, if not more, with him. Because
let me ask John a question now.
He's got a better arm. I think right now he has a better arm strength.
John, do you remember when we went 6-9-1?
Yeah.
Were you to get rid of Rodgers after that season?
No, not really.
Come on, man.
He will. And let me respond for you, John. He was also 35, 36.
Yeah.
He's also 39 now.
So you guys all believe he don't have it anymore.
I don't think that. I just think if we don't move him.
The reading defense-wise, what I'm going to miss.
Hold on. Go ahead, Bill.
If we don't move him right now, we're going to end up not getting anything for him. He's going to retire or just walk away to another team. This is the season to load up on some picks.
Personally, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with giving him this last one because what if he does have another season after the 6-9-1 season? I still think that we owe Rodgers if he wants to come back. Not if he's like, you know what, guys, I don't know, just trade me. Then fucking trade him. But if he is genuinely like, look, bring me back because I believe that we developed these receivers. I believe the offense will be better. Then bring him back one last time. I think we owe him that, and I think we can see that the offense will be better next year, and it should be better. I'm ready to ride with Rodgers one last time.
He already said that he wants Cobb, he wants all those guys back because
we don't want this.
Actually, he changes tune after that. He actually changes tune after that.
That's my problem because he's trying to keep the past alive, and the past is over with.
Yeah,
it's time to move on.
I don't agree with any player trying to hold the team hostage.
Hey, now that Robert just said that, that's my next topic. Is Aaron Rodgers holding Green Bay hostage?
Yes.
Yes or no?
No, I don't think he's holding him hostage. I think he put it out there. He's like, look, if you're committed to winning, he goes, I'll come back and play for you. That's what he said.
I think,
you guys got to tell me you're committed. And what his thought on being competitive is compared to what the team's thought is it doesn't sound like it's the same thing.
And look, and another part of it was he's willfully came out and said, my cap number needs to change. I need to restructure now.
Yeah,
because
he said that he would reconstruct. Yeah.
So to me, that means that if he comes back, he's all in to try to win this time.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want the Packers to screw this up by talking so much trade talks and everything else. Look, man, if you're in on it, and Rodgers has already said he'll make a deal. Go start working a deal. Hey, man, if you shave off this, can we restructure you? And then Rodgers can have one last hurrah and maybe give him a contract with some incentives. If he hits 300, so many touchdowns, if he gets us a Super Bowl, send him out on a good contract. I don't know, man.
Right.
There's so much we can do. And I don't see Jordan Love. I mean, he could be our future, but he has yet to show me that he can handle being our future. And that's partly because he hasn't had the opportunity. I get that. But it's a lot to put on one guy, man. It's a lot to put on a guy.
I want to ask you guys a question off of what we're talking about. If Rodgers comes back, which in my opinion is like a 90% chance at this point, like he's coming back. But
I think so too.
If he comes back and he plays, and look, I'm going to be very honest. I love Rodgers. He is my second favorite Packer ever. I love watching him. This will be, and I'm not joking, the last year I'll ever give him ever again. This will be it. Do you guys agree with that? Like,
I agree.
Like once this year is over, though, it's time to move on. It really is. It's just time to move on.
Okay, so let's get on to the next topic. Can Matt LaFleur make it to the playoffs with or without Aaron Rodgers?
I think in a few years, it's definitely true that he can make it to the playoffs without Aaron Rodgers. I think Love
next year. I think
I think we have options, man. I think there's so many things we can do. And even if Love, because the way that LaFleur coaches the game offensively, it's not tailor-made to Aaron Rodgers' West Coast offense. It's just not. But with Jordan Love, you could really mask a lot of Jordan Love's inefficiencies, you know what I mean? And you could run the ball a lot more. You could do more play action. You could roll out. I think he could do it.
I don't think his production would be any better than Rodgers just by the play calling.
Yeah,
literally just by the play calling. I don't see Love going in that with the scheme that we played this year. If Love started all those games, we might have lost one or two more. Say what?
Well,
considering a game, I mean, Love can do that, if not more. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I'm thinking. I'm with Love. I'm with Love, man. He's a better quarterback right now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you the truth.
John's convinced already, bro.
When you're talking about
games every fucking all season. Oh, am I gonna come back? Am I gonna play him? I'm done. I went too far that way. I'm getting sick of it.
Gets old after a while.
Yeah,
huh?
That's how it is in every damn team and every damn player.
We signed him last year, a 3-year contract.
Tom Brady held the Patriots hostage.
You're signed up. You're here. We'll see you fucking opening day of fucking minicamp. You're here.
So one thing that John is doing, and look, this is not unwarranted, John. Like, you're very valid in your feelings and how you feel.
Yeah.
The way that I feel is that you're trying to move on because of emotion and not with logic is my thing.
That's the difference. That's what
he hasn't played all that great.
Bro, do you not think that
it's one season it was one season he didn't play great, and I blame the team for not setting him up to have the talent around him.
Great. I mean, he's throwing balls way down the bottom or overthrowing them. This deep ball sucks. How many deep balls do you have this year? Because y'all fucking overthrown or
he actually had one of the better rates when it came to deep passes at the end of the year. He actually was hitting them.
I don't know.
Go ahead, A-Dub.
I'm done with them.
He said,
I'm done with him.
He goes back. I'm going to be a Packer fan.
Well, here's the thing.
Are you good? I was going to ask you, are you going to be a fan next season if he's back?
Nope. I want to watch football.
We got to change that. You got to change the intro.
Man, stop. Go ahead, A-Dub.
I was trying to say when y'all brought up the 2018 season, if anything, I think y'all could have brought up as a factor. Like, if there was a reason he could have looked that bad during the year, like the first thing I think about, he was still recovering from a nasty collarbone injury that he suffered in 2017. Like, one would think any injury you suffer is going to make your game regress, and he did play through injuries both this past season and the year before, if anyone needs to remember.
Well, thank God he fucking took some mushrooms. Now he can play a hell lot better.
All right, since John is so hyped up, let me ask him about this. Is Watson going to be a top 10 wide receiver next season?
No.
Let's hear this in the comments. Is he going to be a top 10 wide receiver next season?
No. but I think he will be a top 3 sophomore.
Well, if
next
Jordan
season.
Love's in there, I'll guarantee you he'll be top 10, probably top 5.
I think he'll be a top 3.
He says no.
I think he'll be a top 3 sophomore next season. I think he's up there with Olave, and Wilson, and all those guys. I think Watson is really talented. I really do.
I was going to say the same thing he said. Like, if Christian Watson can keep himself healthy and at least continue to progress as far as his work.
Did you see that comment by Greg?
Also,
go ahead, A-Dub. Go ahead and finish.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying if Christian Watson continues his progression as far as his work ethic and not drop too many balls, he has the talent to where I think he could be a top 10 receiver. It's just a matter of how much more growth will he undergo, and can we see him make more catches like he did this past season? Like, I expected him to be a late round bloomer at the time that we got him.
So, ever since the Cowboys game, I watched Watson make some difficult catches. Like, he progressed very nicely. I want to get to this real quick, though. I want to this. A lot of people don't understand how the salary cap works. So, no, he doesn't.
You got to excuse the ignorance.
He doesn't hog the salary cap, just so you know. Just so you know, what he did was he actually made it possible for us to have salary cap and get all these guys re-signed. And now he's talking about restructuring so that his cap hit lower. I just think a lot of people know how the salary cap works. I don't think they understand it, and they just say shit like that. You know why? Because some guy like Wisco Sports or whatever the fuck that shit is that makes dumb articles all the time. It's like the dumbest place to look at an article. They'll be like, so Aaron Rodgers is taking all the salary cap. Well, then you haven't looked or researched then, because it's just not true, people. Like, yeah, his hit is very high, but he's not even in the top 3 of quarterbacks when it comes to his cap hit. So what are you even talking? Like, it just.
So if the Packers were down to trade him, what would you guys want?
It better be a big old package.
It's got to be a first
in the
and a
comments.
second.
What do you think the trade should have in it?
They have a first-round pick that's earlier than our first-round pick. It has to have that.
I don't care. But get a 7th-round pick for him. I don't give a fuck.
Come on, John. Now you talk about you want better for the team. You got to get something for his ass. I mean, come on, be serious about it. He's worth at least a first and a second.
MVP, 4-time MVP. I think we should get 2 first rounds, a second, and maybe a player.
Oh, don't forget he's got a Super Bowl ring, so you know that should count for something.
What's your thoughts, Nick?
I just
Nick's like, I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on to A-Dub.
I know, I don't either. I think it jinxes. I think it jinxes our team, man.
So look,
over this topic.
Look, let's answer this, okay? Look, it has to be at least a first-round pick that's earlier than our first-round pick.
He's got to be a Bear fan. Yeah, be lucky to get a second.
There's no way you give Aaron Rodgers up for anything.
Not dealing Justin Fields.
There's no way you give up Aaron Rodgers anything that's than a pick that's earlier than ours already. There's just no way. You don't give up on Rodgers.
Nick hit it on the head right there. At least a first or second, then a later on pick.
A first and a second. Shit, it should be 1 and a 2.
Exactly. Yeah. If you want Rodgers that bad, you want to take him from us? You better give us something
A
worth
1
it.
and a 2.
The best thing is to go to bidding war between Jets and the Raiders.
That would be the best thing.
That's what I'm hoping for, so we can squeak out a second.
I'm not hoping for any of that. Shit.
So look,
let me rephrase. If he goes.
So look, I want Rodgers to stay one last year. I'm advocating. I'm advocating for Rodgers to stay one more year. Okay, but here's the thing. I'm also not against.
You like being disappointed,
John? Listen, I'm also.
God, I love it.
I'm also not against trading him for something, a package like that gets us somewhere if we're moving on with Love. I'm not against it.
100% agree. 100% agree.
Like when I say that I'm ready for Rodgers to be our quarterback next year, people think like, oh my God, you just don't want to move it. That's not it. That's it. If someone gives us a good package and it makes sense, I'm ready for Green Bay to win. I want to fucking win. I don't care if Rodgers, Donald Trump, Biden, I don't care if Hillary Clinton comes and plays quarterback. As long as we win, I don't care. So look, my prediction is Rodgers coming back, and I'm ready for that. And I think we can win one last time. I do. But
that's my take.
Right? Send Rodgers down the road. Bye-bye. You're out of here.
And if he's sent down the road and we get a good package for him, I'm not against it either.
Okay. So guess what? Guess who wants to be a Packer? That Heineken, Washington Heineken, he wants to be a Packer.
Yeah, Heineken. Yeah.
Taylor Heineken.
Hey, are you guys ready to open up the
Heineken.
mic a little bit? You guys ready to open up the mic a little bit?
Yeah, let's open it up. John, please don't do that.
I'm going to send you the link, buddy.
Please don't get so desperate that you start mentioning Heineken as if that's going to somehow make it better.
Look, I don't care. I don't care if we get rid of Rodgers. I just want someone in there that's going to take over. If we get a good package for him and we're able to build a future, great. See you later, Rodgers. You had your chances here. I've watched plenty of fucking NFC Championship games where I got let down by some bad play, and some of it's on his part. I still say in that fucking Tampa game, he could have ran that fucking ball in, and I'll go to my grave saying that.
They show aerial views where he wouldn't have made it. He wouldn't have made it.
I would rather see him try that than see how it ended.
I agree.
You know, if it was Brett Favre, he would have put his head down and fucking ran right in the end zone.
You know what? Against the Broncos in the Super Bowl, we lost because of that. Actually,
well, we lost because they fucking let the other team score. I don't even want to go into that.
Elway did it better than Brett Favre did. Brett Favre had a crucial moment where he didn't make it.
Well, it was Brett Favre being Brett Favre throwing picks, bro.
Well, that's always going to happen with Brett Favre, okay?
I mean, ask Minnesota about it. I mean, that's how he ended his best season there, the interception. So
go ahead, here. I was going to mention, you need to mention another reason we lost that Super Bowl to the Broncos is because we couldn't stop Terrell Davis either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
big time. When your defense cannot stop the run, that's it for you, man.
So look, real quick. You just said 31 million cap hit. Now, first of all, you don't understand how the cap hit works. Actually, it's not a full 31 million. Now, 15%. You do realize the cap is going up by
16 million. I think 16 million. I think it is
a lot this year. So it's not even close to 15%. Of the fucking cap hit. So I hate when people do this. Look, Dominic, I'm not trying to shit on you. I'm sure that you're just very vested in what Green Bay is doing. I'm just letting you know what you're saying is incorrect. It's not true. And if Rodgers 15% of the cap, it'd be impossible. It's just not true. It's just not true. So open up the mic. Let's send it out. I'm going to send it out right now.
Link out right now.
But we got some big contracts. I mean, Brock Howard's 28, Cunny Clark's 23, Alexander's 20.
So how is Rodgers 15% of the cap? See what I'm saying? That's not how the cap works. People don't understand how the cap works. It's okay. It's fine. A Bears outlet would let you know, Rodgers is money grubbing all of your cap, right? Well, that's what they're supposed to say.
He said Isaac said Seneca Wallace for QB.
15% isn't even that bad for a QB if you think about it. So that's true because Mahomes actually does take 15% of his team's cap, and they're in the Super Bowl. Just saying.
Hey, we weren't talking how Rodgers' cap wasn't a big deal when he was winning MVPs, and we're winning 13 games, and we're leading we're winning our division and everything else, man. I mean, it is what last year was a down year for us, man. I mean, we can't go in every fucking year. You just can't do it. You can't lose players like with Adams, caliber of play and not replace it and expect that you're gonna keep going how you're going.
Guys, I'm confused. Is crack cocaine legal in Canada now?
Probably.
Because Mike's been saying some crazy ass shit over here, man. Mr. Bucks, man.
I want to ask you guys a question, and look. So, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that Jamez jumped on because this was.
Here we go.
This is my question. Here we go. Look, there was a lot more than just. And I'm going to give this piece real quick. I'm going to give my own piece real quick. There was more than just the Packers losing to the Lions, which I admitted in every group. I will concede that the Lions were the best football team in the North after that. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Now,
it sucks. It sucks to admit that. It sucks. That's the truth.
But it's true. Were the Minnesota Vikings the epitome of frauds this year because that happened? They lost to the fucking Giants.
I don't remember the Packers beating the Giants.
No, we should have beat the Giants. That's one of those games we played one half and then left the other half.
Bullshit. That was your first time on the London stage. God damn it, you're supposed to represent. Y'all supposed to represent on that London stage, Nick.
Hey, so what happened to you representing in the playaffs?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go back to Nick. Hey, it reminded me of the goddamn Packers the year before. But let me tell you, that those kind of goddamn, it was that kind of scenario. But bro, let's stick on this first point, Nick. How in the fuck? So basically, next year, let's say the Lions have 4 more wins. Let's just say 4 more wins than the Vikings. But we're 5 and we have a 1 game better in the division. I get to say that we're better. We're the best team in the North this next year.
Bob Haspels, get to the point.
I'm trying to understand your point on how the Lions are the best team.
They were the best football team in the North this year. They whipped the living dog shit out of you guys. They whipped the living dog shit out of you guys, and then they beat us. Your team was not very good this year.
They don't get to get credit for splitting with us, brother. You can say all these fraud. You can come on all this legal that you want. At the end of the day, we were way better than the Packers, bro. At the end of the day,
I'm with Jamez on this. Your record speaks for yourself. That's how your record should speak for yourself, man. That's how it should be.
It does speak for yourself. Nick doesn't get that.
It was a fraudulent record.
Nick doesn't get that.
Worse than their record by a
bro,
lot.
Nick, do you understand the Green Bay Packers lost 5 games in a goddamn row? Bro, y'all got whooped 5 weeks in a row, bro.
Jamez, do you realize that we're saying that Green Bay sucked this year? See, you can't do that. You can't.
Detroit, they had a nice finish, bro. But when you start 1-6, the shit doesn't mean that much.
Okay. So back to my original point. Everybody, were the Vikings fraudulent this year? I'm going to raise my hand and say yes.
They didn't finish out the season. That's for damn sure.
So Jamez, was your team fraudulent this year? Yes or no?
If that's the case, the Packers been, as long as you'll say the Packers been frauds the past 3 years. As long as we're holding the playing field together, that's fine. I'll say that.
Give them credit,
wait.
Man.
You guys can't
MVPs. You got to give them credit, man.
See? Look. Wait, real quick. Darcy, I want you to elaborate on that.
Also,
it's clearly different, is it not?
Also, sorry.
How many times have you made the playoffs in a row? Honestly, this is the first time you haven't made the playoffs since when?
2018.
2018, but
might as well say 5 years.
Times in how many years? Like it's been like 13 years. And 2 times we haven't made it, right?
1991.
No, I did.
So that's what I'm saying. Go ahead, Darcy. I want you to take the floor and elaborate.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg.
You next, and then we're gonna get to Joe. Go ahead, Darcy. Elaborate.
So, since we're talking about the Green Bay Packers, you had a lot of turnover with a Hall of Fame receiver leaving, basically. But you guys loaded up. You got draft picks for him. But the problem was, you guys just didn't gel. And I said to Simon, I said this in the back chats, and I said this everywhere. I said this to Bill. I said this. And I said, you guys are going to start rolling about week 6 to week 8, but that didn't happen. It kind of turned right around week 11. So I thought you guys were going to win the division. And when Minnesota came in and Lambeau, holy shit.
But to our credit, Darcy, at least it finally did hit that bend where we did see the progression. You know what I mean? Like at least it did finally happen, whether it was week 6 or week 11. Right. I'm going to go A-Dub. Go ahead and say what you needed to say. Let's get it, A-Dub. Go ahead.
I was going to respond to that part about could we admit the Packers were frauds the past couple of years. I'm not sure you could say that. Like, if there's one record we've seen the Vikings make that may not be broken anytime soon, are we going to see another team get 13 wins with a negative point differential going into playoffs like y'all did?
Yeah. See that's just ridiculous. That
makes it more impressive. We did it with the 31st rate defense, so that shows that the Packers are frauds.
You said that 31st. You choked in the playoffs.
You just won your games early. You just won your games early. Your end of the season game sucks.
So it's better to go one and done with a loaded team? Is that what you're telling me?
Jamez, you're going to have your time. Put Joe on the screen. Joe, we're talking about the Vikings. They had a negative point differential for a winning team for the first time in history. Are they frauds, yes or no?
Bro, I mean, like, let's just be honest. Did anybody on this entire panel, like, when we saw, like, the Vikings were winning all these games, right, and we knew that the Vikings were a lock for the playoffs, was there a single person on this panel that didn't say to themselves, they're one and done?
That's
Everybody, raise your hand.
Everybody said that.
Let's think about.
What's your thoughts on that, Jamez?
Other than Jamez.
Well, coming from the source, this is the same guy that told me the Raiders were going to be better than the Vikings and that Derek Carr was better than Cousins. So I'm going to just let that. I'm going to let that breeze right past.
Jamez,
I got you there, Joe.
What's that?
How many games were you right in the month of December and January? Talk about it.
How many what? You asking me what you said?
Were you right when you made predictions? How much money did you basically lose in December?
I was already so much ahead from the first goddamn 9-10 weeks. It didn't matter.
I
won so much during the 7-game winning streak alone. Goddamn it, I couldn't have possibly lost enough.
Jamez, you're not supposed to make those bets when you're sucking.
So the couple I lost, bro, it didn't make a dent in the winnings, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
What's your thoughts on the Detroit Lions?
I see the Detroit Lions coming, and if they can hit on these draft picks, they could be something. I can see them challenging for the North next year. But I don't think they're as good as the fan base is piping up, talking about how they just for sure like they're a lock to win the North and they're a lock to go to the playoffs and do all this shit. I don't see that.
I never said that.
And
I said 9 wins. I say
no,
we
not you.
The fan base, motherfucker. There's a lot of fans that say that, man. Yeah.
Actually, I want to just clarify something. I do have video footage of Darcy at week 2 claiming to go to the Super Bowl. And I will release that later today in the group.
That's Packer hate, though. That's Packer hate right there.
I said we're going to the Super Bowl next year. That means
you said this was week 2 of this season.
Oh, you don't consider that a
Super Bowl?
I never said that. I said I was happy with 7 wins.
Can I chime in?
Okay, Darcy, would you like to place a $50 bet on that?
And
I remember,
Bill, when you bet me, did you win or lose?
Ooh,
you got lucky on one bet, motherfucker. I'm talking about. Did you say week 2 that you were going to the Super Bowl?
Next year, 2023, we're going.
You
to
said
the Super Bowl.
this season.
Oh my God!
No, but
even if you said it for next year,
Darcy, you said though you guys were going to win the North. You guys said you were going to win the North this year, though. I guarantee you said that,
guys,
and then you said the Super Bowl next year.
You can scroll. You could type in my name on the huddle. You could type it in, and you could see everything I said.
Hey,
that's the problem with the kid.
Look, everybody.
Hey, hold on, guys. Hold on.
We're all arguing about our own teams. We got a Raiders fan that's in here. Let's go to a side subject real quick, just for a little bit, and then we'll start arguing and bashing each other again.
Come on, Nick.
Derek Carr is going to the Saints.
Maybe.
And
he is.
It's actually looking like that actually might be a great place for him to go.
Yeah.
They got squad.
I'm just saying.
They got squad.
What do you guys think about that? Derek Carr on the Saints? That actually makes them somewhat lethal.
I gotta say, first of all, I don't speak for all Raiders fans. Like, there's a huge divide among Raiders fans right now. They're half the fan base, maybe even a little more than half, is happy to see him go, and then there's the other like 40 to 45%, maybe even 50%. That's like, man, we did him dirty, and it's bullshit. So, I'm kind of in the middle on it. Like, I understand moving on.
Let's be honest. He was done dirty.
He was kind of done dirty, in my opinion. And I don't think he really deserved that, because he gave nothing but his heart and soul to the team for 9 years. But at the same time, I'm not like a stan where I'm like going to sit here and excuse the fact that, like, I came to the realization, just like a lot of these other fans, a lot of these people that hate Derek Carr now, they were once Derek Carr fans, and he just let them down over and over and over. And then finally they were like, you know what? This dude is never going to get it done for us. And that's kind of where I'm in.
But how do we feel about him going to the Saints is what is looking like what's
I was getting to that. Yeah, I was getting to that, but I just wanted to explain first off, like I said, I don't speak for all Raider fans, but how I feel personally. I think it's a good fit for him. Like, talent-wise, they have talent. They have talent. I don't really
defense. Dennis
Allen doesn't really impress me as a coach, but and they're in cap hell. Like, they're going to be, they're going to suck for the foreseeable future, and after this cap finally catches up to him. But I think it's a place where he could succeed. I mean, he plays in a dome, and his other division games are all like warm weather games. So he never.
Now that Brady's retired, like he doesn't really have anybody to go against at this point.
So he never has to play in the cold really until the playoffs. Like, Andy plays in the most terrible division in football, so it's like he's guaranteed. Pretty much, if they go there, the Saints are guaranteed that division. So Derek Carr's going to be
the NFC North is pretty bad. The NFC North is pretty bad. Let's be honest. The NFC North is pretty bad.
Honestly, man, the NFC North is nowhere near the NFC South, bro. Like, the NFC North, the Lions are on a resurgence, dude. The Lions are coming up. I honestly think
the best team in the NFC North this year was one of the worst teams in the NFL. So I
agree. But it was a down year for the division. But I also think that the Lions are on their way up. I think the Packers are still loaded, depending on what you do. Like, if you trade Rodgers or not, and if Love plays well or whatever. But pretty much the only guarantee in the NFC North is that the Bears are going to suck donkey balls next year.
Hey, somebody just said fuck Derek Carr. That was disrespectful.
You don't want to say that about your hairdo.
Give it to A-Dub. Go ahead, A-Dub.
Well, I was going to ask Joe, when it comes to you saying Derek Carr was done dirty and for the Raiders, how much of that blame would you consider putting on Josh McDaniels or coach? Like, I'm sure he had his role in terms.
Oh, he don't like McDaniels. He don't like McDaniels, bro. He don't like McDaniels.
All of it on McDaniels because, like, look, Derek Carr. Okay, in his career, I mean, you guys, these are facts that I'm about to spit. You guys can go and look these up. Derek Carr, in the first year of his system, always kind of struggled, but he never struggled as much as he did this year. And also, like, McDaniels' play calling, I've said it a few times this season, McDaniels' play calling was extremely questionable, dude. Like, you have the number one running back in the league. He's leading the league in rushing yards by like 150 or almost 200 yards. It's 3rd and 1, and you run a jet sweep to Devontae Adams. Like, bro, I don't care what team you're a fan of. That is Pop Warner shit. Like, that is some bullshit. And that it wasn't only that. Like, there was lots of play calls that I found extremely questionable. So I'm not going to say that I think that McDaniels sabotaged Carr, but I'm going to say he didn't put him in the best position to succeed. Like whether that was intentional or not, I'm not going to speak on that. I'm going to say that his mistakes, his shortcomings as a head coach or as a play caller directly caused Derek Carr to have the kind of season that he had. And I also want to say if the Raiders had kept Carr, I think he would have played a lot better next season going into the second year of that system. But now we'll never know. But he was done dirty, though. Like, I mean, to sit him for the last 2 games, that was bullshit. Like, that was bullshit, man.
And to not even let him in the damn building.
No, you
to
can
not
be
even
happy.
let him in the building like that,
Yeah.
like that's dude. It's
Bro,
Are you gonna be happy?
a lot
Are
of
you gonna be
shit, though.
happy when Rodgers gets there?
What the fuck, Johnny? He ain't going there, man. He's not fucking going there,
Well,
bro.
you got a plane ticket for him. He's gone.
He said he's out of here.
Bro, Rodgers is coming to the Raiders. I hate to break
No,
it
he's
to you.
not, bro. He's not going there.
He's
Are
gonna
you
be a
willing to
Raider.
give us
man.
2 first rounders
With
and a
how
second
Rodgers
rounder?
is, do you think
Hey,
he's
No,
Bill,
Bill, I saw you post that on Facebook. Bill,
Hey,
you're
Joe,
out of
what's your
mind.
draft pick? What position are you guys picking this year for the draft? Are you under 15?
We're 7.
Oh, see, we'll trade with you guys.
Yeah, but we're going to need your first this year.
We're gonna
and
need your
next,
first and your second.
We want the first
Yeah.
and Wellers. We want Wellers
Dude.
too.
And then I'll
You're
drive
not
him
getting
out
no,
there
you ain't getting no
myself.
Waller. You're not getting no
Especially if
Waller,
you're trying
John
to build
Dorn.
Rodgers.
I was gonna say, we're not getting
I would
a
take
player,
the first and Waller,
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah.
John Dorn,
Can I
definitely.
tell you?
I
Can I
want
tell
that
you
they're not-
realistically? Like, okay, look, I can't speak.
Waller in 2 first.
I can't speak for
Well, hey.
I can't speak for Dave Ziegler and for Josh McDaniels. They might be stupid enough to give up the farm, but like I can tell you what I would honestly and fairly give up for Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career. Like I'm thinking like I did the math on this. I looked at the NFL draft chart and how many points each pick is worth. I would honestly offer a first round pick swap, number 7 for number 15. Like you guys move up to 7, we move down to 15. We give you the second this year. And if you guys are like absolutely bent on getting something else, maybe throw in a player or another mid to late round pick, just so that we don't miss out on the deal. But there's no way in hell I would give you guys 2 first round picks for Rodgers at 39 and not knowing if he's going to play even one more year. And
Yeah,
coming off
that
the
does
worst
factor into
statistical
it.
I
season of
was
his
gonna say,
career,
I
like,
wouldn't be in for the
That's-
swap, but for
Well,
a
that's
first
fair
and a
deal
second,
because
I-
at this point in time in his career, I'm thinking if you trade Rodgers anywhere, trade him somewhere where the team is ready to win now.
yes.
okay, well look at the Raiders, look at the Raiders offense and add Aaron Rodgers to that. Like, do you think that wouldn't be an explosive offense? And the Raiders have 11 draft picks this year. So as long as they don't give up a buttload of picks for Aaron Rodgers, they have a chance to address the defense. Now, the Raiders draft history is a whole nother story, and I'm sure we could spend a whole show talking about the Raiders misses in the draft. But
That's with every team.
On paper, like the Raiders should be able to improve their defense. And I'll tell you one move that I think the Raiders absolutely have to make this year, like as far as free agency goes. I think they have to like back the Brinks truck up and they have to get Daron Payne, dude, because they had no interior pass rush at all last year. And I think if they get Daron Payne to add with Crosby and Chandler Jones, that actually would improve our defense in itself. It wouldn't make us top 10 or anything, but you would see a significant improvement just by adding Daron Payne.
So real quick, guys.
I'm saying
hold
you
on,
would
A-Dub,
want to do
hold on.
that before the
I'm gonna go
Bears
to you
do.
next, A-Dub. A-Dub, I'm gonna go to you next. I just want to do like just a quick intermission. I just want everybody to get something to drink real quick or do whatever they got to do, and I want to show the Vikings season highlights of the Vikings season. Their season in a nutshell, right here. So let's watch it.
Where's the music? Where's the sound?
Oh, there is no sound to this video. It's just.
Damn it! When the bodies hit the floor was the perfect song, man.
It's just, and it's the Vikings falling apart at the seams.
Kind of looks like Carrico going under Bill's desk.
Okay, so we got Rob Haspels. Thank you for being on, Rob. Thank you for being on, Darcy. Thank you for being on, Jamez. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go to A-Dub, and then Rob, I'm going to get after A-Dub, all right?
Truly honored. Truly honored. Thank you for having me on this. This is one of my favorite podcasts.
I love that. Go ahead, A-Dub. Let's get it.
Yeah, I was just addressing Joe about the move you said. Funny thing you're talking about Deron Payne, you got the Bears wanting to get him to improve their defensive front too, since there's a good chance they want to pair him with their first round pick, which I think will easily be Jalen Carter. Like, give Deron Payne a mentor. Yeah, like Deron Payne's going to have a mentorship.
And the Bears have the cap space. The Bears could offer way more money than the Raiders could, but
who the fuck this is the thing I don't get about the whole. Well, the Bears have a lot of cap space. Now, I know that's not where you're going with it, Joe, but the whole thing about Bears fans being like, do you know how much cap space we have? The rest of us are sitting there going, do you know how many players actually want to play for you? There's zero. Nobody wants to.
We got a lot of holes to fill.
Hey, Nick, money talks, man. You know,
yeah, but they don't have nobody.
If the Bears offer Deron Payne $22 million a year, he's going to be a Bear. I promise.
But you need to have people that know talent to go get that talent to bring them there. You could have all the money in the freaking world if you can't read talent and know what you need for your team. That's been the Bears' problem for 40 years, man. Since Papa Bear passed away, the Bears don't know how to run shit. The McCaskies, they suck at running an organization. They don't know the first thing about football.
So wait, let's put it this way. Money does talk. Just like how Allen Robinson burned them when he got all his money from them. So you're literally watching guys quit on the field during the game for them because money does talk. But once they get that money, they don't want to be there, man. They don't want to be on the Bears. Now, sorry, A-Dub. I promised Rob some talking time, so I'm going to go to Rob. Everything you've been hearing and we're talking about, give it to me, Rob. Let's see it.
Well, I got some of it and everything. What's the current topic we're talking right now?
The current topic right now, which we just somehow skewed into, was Deron Payne. But I think the better topic actually from this is what the fuck are the Bears going to do? Because no one wants to play for them and they have all this money.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, we've been having fun with like funny mock drafts of trying to fix the Bears, entire roster and everything. My personal feelings on Justin Fields aside, he's going to be their quarterback. What I really think would be beneficial for them is they do trade out of that number one spot, and I think most people are projecting that they will, and they'll get a very, very healthy haul.
I agree because there's really nobody to take at number one for the Bears that's going to help them immediately. Like They may help immediately at their position, but they're not going to change the fucking team. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I actually agree with you.
There's nothing the Bears can do this season that's going to make them better for this year.
The big thing on this draft is it's one of the best drafts in like 5 or 6 years on cornerbacks, and that's true throughout the first round, most of the second and everything. So a lot of our teams could actually benefit from that. I think the Bears, though, there's a lot of really good interior defensive linemen and not linebackers, but interior defensive linemen and some edge rushers up there in the first round. I think if they're smart, they're going to try to address both of their lines first, okay? Because that's the biggest problem. If they don't get the trenches on either side of the ball fixed first, they're just going to be fucked. I mean, they can bring in wide receivers, they can bring in tight ends. They still.
Can we all agree real quick that their offensive line wasn't nearly as bad as we all thought it was going to be. And I know Bears fans be like, well, passing blocking, actually pass blocking, it wasn't nearly as bad as we thought it was going to be. It just wasn't. It just wasn't.
It wasn't bad at all, to tell you the truth.
Well, Justin Fields had the most time to throw of any quarterback in the whole league, and the rushing, the rush blocking was elite in my opinion for them. Like, I mean, it was pretty good.
And I think what they need to really look at is they got to get their D line fixed, and then they need some linebackers. I don't know the wisdom behind the Roquan Smith trade. I don't, other than the fact that they have a shit ton of freaking money now.
They're cleaning house.
Yeah, it's an all-out rebuild, and at least Ryan Poles is up front. He's like, hey, I'm gutting it. And like I told some people last night, I look at this coming season as year one in the rebuild, because really there's no rebuilding that happened. All he did was just gut the place.
The
Roquan
trade made 0 sense. Let's ask the whole panel, right? Everybody, you're in agreement, right? The Roquan Smith trade made no sense. It made 0. It just wasn't a good trade. But like for a management that's brand new that wants to go in their direction with their vision, it's like if we traded Devondre Campbell after last year because we got new management and we wanted to gut the team, right? And you're like, why would you trade a first team all pro? Like, what are you doing? Well, because he doesn't fit my narrative. You know what I mean? So getting rid of Roquan Smith didn't make sense. It just really did not make sense for the rebuild. And sorry to cut you off, Rob. Go ahead and give us a little bit more because I'm gonna go with Jamez. I'm gonna go with Darcy. We're gonna go A-Dub. I'm gonna give it back to Joe, John, and Ken. We're gonna go everywhere. So go ahead and give me your last piece real quick.
So my last piece will just come back to my Vikings quick. I'm very happy with Brian Flores hire. I mean, I was in favor of getting rid of Donatel halfway through the season. Obviously, we wouldn't have landed Flores if we did that, but I'm looking in a very corner-heavy draft to really focus on corner, defensive, interior, and linebacker in this draft. I do think a lot of fan favorites, including Dalvin Cook, Eric Kendricks, guys like that are probably going to be gone. They're going to try to get what compensation they can to boost up the draft picks because we only have 4 plus compensatories. Looking forward to fixing things through the draft, and I think Flores will probably bring in a guy like Sutton from Pittsburgh, a guy like Rowe possibly from Miami, depending on what we can do on the cap. Looks like Adam Thielen's trying to restructure to a team-friendly deal to retire as a Viking. All that in a nutshell. I'm not surprised we went one and done. I'm surprised we won the amount of games we did with the way our defense played and the way our defense was coached. So I think our offense is pretty good. We could use another good wide receiver. I'd like to see Jalen Naylor get a chance. Other than that, here's some next year.
So let's end it with it's a yes or no answer, Rob. Were the Vikings frauds this year? Yes or no? I don't want an explanation. I don't want an explanation. I just want a yes or no. Were the Vikings frauds this year?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there you go. So we're gonna end on this segment that we just did with that.
Well,
I know Rob has a lot to say. I know Rob has a lot to say after that, but we're gonna because this is so much time. We're gonna move on. The Bears fan just joined.
I was chiming in and I heard your opinion, kind of. I was trying to jump on, but why was the Roquan Smith a bad trade? Just explain that to me real quick, and I'll give you my
So I didn't say it was a bad trade.
I
didn't say it was a bad trade. I just said it didn't make sense to me because you're getting rid of like the youngest, best talent that you have by a astronomical long shot, and it seemed to be only because of management felt they needed to go in a different way. So to me, it didn't make sense because if I'm management, I'm going, well, I'm going to take this one guy who has shown that he's better than everybody on our defense, and I'm rolling with him because he's what, 24, 25 years old, right?
Correct. Never been injured. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Roquan fan, and I still will be. But
so, Mike, I never said it was a bad trade. I said the trade didn't make sense to me.
Well, I'm trying to let it make sense to you a little bit. But if we would have held on to him by the end of the year and say we didn't get him, he went somewhere else, we'd only get one compensatory pick out of him, no better than a third. Don't get me wrong. He's one of the best linebackers out there. I agree with you. But at the beginning of the year, they threw out their last offer. They did not agree. So in the middle of the year, they weren't doing shit anyway, so we might as well get something better than nothing out of them. So they got 2 picks out of it. They got a second round.
I'm glad that a Bears fan gave more context to it because there was a lot of that I'm sure I didn't know that you probably do know.
And I knew he was going to get his $100 million a year, $20 million per year. You know what I mean? Plus whatever his guarantee is. But I mean, they weren't going to do it. So I mean, 2 picks is better than 1 pick, and it's no better than a third. And
to answer your question, because I think it's my turn. Sorry.
Well, hold on. Let's let Mike finish his segment. It's not going to be much longer. We'll go right to.
I mean, I can end it up there. I don't have to go on. I mean, I can keep talking, but I mean, you get the drift.
I'm glad that you gave me that information because I'm not highly in tune with exactly what happened. But I do know that for me, if I'm management, I want to roll with Roquan Smith as my number 1 guy. That's just me because that guy is.
Right, but you got to look at it too. Ever since he went to the Ravens, he made that Ravens team great. You know what I mean? But we got Jack Sanborn, which was out of the rough, that played just as good as Roquan. Not saying he's going to be our long-time leader or nothing, but he stepped in and did that role.
Come on now.
So go ahead, Darcy. You got the floor. Go ahead, Darcy. We're going to move to everybody. Everybody, you can get your chance. Go ahead, Darcy.
This is my finishing statement. Thank you for the question. Thank you for having me on the panel, Nick. Great show. I love this show. I love coming on. I think it's 3 times this year. To answer your question about Roquan Smith, the new NFL, if the player does not want to be there, then you just trade him or let him go because he was disgruntled. Do you remember? He was disgruntled when he even signed him. He took like 3 weeks to sign his rookie deal. So
because he didn't have an agent, he was being stubborn. Yes,
right. But he didn't want to be a Chicago Bear. He wanted to be on a winning organization. And at the time, Chicago Bears were not going to be a winning organization. So why wouldn't you go to Baltimore? That's a great defense. That's a winning organization. They're always in the playoffs, not like the Bears. 1985. 1985.
Irrelevant, Darcy. Irrelevant. Go
he just took a shot at you, buddy. He just rolled the punches at you, buddy.
He can throw them, but at the end of the day, the Lions are in the basement, always will be in the basement, and they've proven nothing.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to finish up. This is my last statement. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for. I'm honored to be on the show. John Dorn, suck dick, and I love everyone else. Jimenez, pay me, bitch. See ya.
Same old Lions.
Damn, and he mic dropped on you too. Like,
you owe money? Do you owe money?
No, I don't.
Well, why did he say pay you? Why did he tell you to pay him?
The man Darcy just has hallucinations, man. I think he just there were so many bets. There were so many bets he wanted.
Wait, what did he say? I thought he said pay me. What did he say? What did he actually say?
He said pay me, bitch. Actually,
yeah, that's what I thought he said. Exactly. So okay.
I don't want there to be any misunderstandings. You know, like let's quote him correctly, right?
They smoking some of that different kind of shit in Canada, man.
Hey, by the way.
I seen Trailer Park Boys and they smoke different kind of shit. I know that.
Yo, my fiance's in Canada. I go up there all the fucking time. Their shit's good, but I've definitely smoked shit here that's same quality, if not a little better.
In California.
There you go. We've gotten a few shipments.
I doubt they fucking with that California.
Hey,
bro, get out. First of all, go ahead, A-Dub. I'm gonna give it to A-Dub, and then Jamez, you're about to get smoked. So go ahead, A-Dub.
Well, if I was gonna say before Darcy left, I was gonna confirm something he said before about 2023 was supposed to be the year he said they win the Super Bowl. I actually have that post where he actually did say that.
Yeah, me too. I got some things on him on that. But Darcy don't realize he's got Dan Campbell as a coach, and he ain't getting that team anywhere. Wasn't for Ben Johnson, that team would be shit. I don't care what anybody says.
I'm going to call this segment. Give credit where credit. Okay. Shut the fuck up.
Fuck the
I'm going to call this segment right now. give credit where credit is due. That's what this whole segment's going to be about. Now, I'll start, and everybody can give credit where it's due. The Lions were the best football team in the NFC North. Credit where it's due. And I will go ahead and give Jamez credit where it's due because the Bills did the dumbest thing I've ever seen in the history of the NFL, where they fumbled the ball in the end zone for a touchdown for the Vikings and ended up losing the game because all you had to do was just touch the ball and kneel it down and win. It was the dumbest thing that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, they could even took a safety there.
Jamez was right about that, but I won on a technicality that the Bills actually had a better winning percentage than the Vikings. So our bets counteracted, but I will give you credit on my show, Jamez, that you proved me wrong in a sense.
I want you to go back. I want you to go a step further with that. I proved you that Josh Allen's overrated and that Kirk Cousins is better.
I will never ever see that. That is just not true.
I'm really
good shit right now.
Kirk Cousins knocked Josh Allen out of the MVP race, man. I'm trying to tell you guys, bro. He knocked him out.
Hey, Jamez.
I gave my credit where credit is due, everybody. I'm going to start with Jamez. I'll go to Joe next. Go ahead, Jamez. Give credit where credit is due.
Okay, I want to give credit to Kevin O'Connell. I think that's where the credit is due for me, our head coach. I think he was snubbed out of at least being a finalist for Coach of the Year. You got to think, bro, it's one thing when you just take over a team that has some talent and you transform them. But I told you guys long before he got here that Mike Zimmer was the problem. Now he's taking the 31st ranked defense. Just imagine if we had a halfway competent defense. We're probably in the championship game on our way damn near to the Super Bowl, bro. That's why we got the right guy. Nick, I'm telling you, man, these next year Vikings are going to be something you better watch out for, buddy. Something you better watch out for. And I'm just going to give the credit to the head coach. I believe in him. I believe in him.
You're giving credit where credit should be due. That's fine with me. I don't believe the last part of what you just said. But, Joe, we're going to go to you. Who do you want to give credit to where credit is due?
Brian Daboll.
Yeah, I like that one.
Dude,
Brian
to take
Daboll.
He did a good job. From the basement to the playoffs in one season and not change quarterbacks, like to have Daniel Jones and you know, the only difference really was a healthy Saquon Barkley. Like
Daniel
that tells
Jones
me
actually looked really good this year too. He actually did.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like to me, Daboll deserves Coach of the Year hands down. And also I think like Daboll is, dude, he's going to be a hell of a coach. Like I wanted him for the Raiders.
I agree with that. Daboll should get Coach of the Year. I agree with that. He did. He made wine out of water with that team. He really did.
He sure did, dude.
He did get Coach of the Year. He got it.
I thought he did. Well, he deserved it.
I didn't watch the awards because I didn't give a shit because
he got it.
I waited for the Lions fans giving a fuck about Hutchinson winning some Gatorade award or whatever.
Hang on. I have a question for Joe. Sorry. Yeah, my question for Joe is, as you mentioned the Lions, as you mentioned the Giants, question. Would you rather keep Saquon or Daniel Jones or try to work a deal to keep both? Because as I recall, both are supposed to be free this year.
I would honestly, Saquon is a no-brainer. I think you have to keep him. Daniel Jones, if the price was right, I would say keep him because of, you can really, I think Daboll could build on what they did last year.
Unless Derek Carr wants less. Oh,
honestly,
I think Derek Carr.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. I don't think. I don't think that would. It might be good because Daboll is good with quarterbacks, but Derek Carr playing in the cold a bunch of times a year doesn't really sound. It doesn't sound like something.
Daboll did win Coach of the Year, right? He did.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Hey,
because
I also
what Jamez is talking about, like, come on, man. There's nothing that your coach did that actually warranted over someone like that took an absolute travesty and made. I can't even believe that they got for real. The Giants, good on you. Credit where credit is due. The Giants, you guys deserve that credit for real.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Joe. I'm
Sure
sorry,
do.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead and finish your segment.
No, that was my credit where credit is due. But I just wanted to, earlier they were talking about the Bears trading out of the number 1 pick, and I think that's really smart. If I was them, I would try to get down. I would try to get down like with Indianapolis, get down to 4. And I think the Bears, if Jalen Carter is there at 4 and they don't take him, that whoever is drafting for them should be slapped. Like Jalen Carter,
that the Bears can
honestly,
do at number 1 that's going to change their franchise. There's just nothing they can.
No, but at number 4, think about it this way: at number 4, they trade down with Indianapolis, let's say, right? Because Indianapolis wants Bryce Young or whoever, right? They're going to get a haul of picks, and they get Jalen Carter. Like that's a win right there. That they win the first round of the draft hands down. If they get
just in my opinion, the Bears will not trade their first pick, and it'll end up being a mistake. And that's just my opinion. I'm gonna go how I see it on the panel. Go ahead, Ken. Give credit where credit is due this year.
Probably going to get a little dragged for this one, but for Dan Campbell, I'm going to give him that he gave his team one hell of an edge. They were a nice, tough team.
Dan Campbell, are you fucking serious?
John, you're coming up soon. Don't worry about it.
I was going to say, they played a hell of a lot tougher than we did all year long.
Dan Campbell.
That's a real credit where credit's due.
Hey, I don't particularly like
him. No. Yeah, wait, he might.
All right, he gives it to Dan Campbell. I actually don't disagree with him in certain ways, but A-Dub, give credit where credit is due this year.
I go beyond the division and say, how about giving credit to the Seahawks for proving themselves the better team, winning that trade with the Broncos because they had a better season in Denver, and Denver tanked and gave them the pick in the draft.
Bro,
Sean
Denver
wait.
got
Sean Payton went to Denver, right? Sean Payton, he went to Denver, didn't he?
Yep.
Yes, he did. And they gave up more picks for that. Like the Denver Broncos don't have a first-round pick probably for the next 7 years.
Maybe it won't work, but let's be honest. Let's see what happens now on Peyton is there. I don't know. That actually kind of sounds like something that everyone has to watch out for. I love A-Dub that you said that though, because give credit where it's due. The Seahawks made the playoffs, got rid of a bad contract. Geno Smith now actually looks like a legit starting quarterback all of a sudden. That was great credit where credit is due.
Also loaded up on draft picks and hit on their early picks this year, turned them into players.
100%. That was a great one. I wish I would have thought of that one. Fucker.
And aren't they picking 3 or no? They're picking like 4 or 5 this year. Like they're picking somewhere low.
Yeah, the Seahawks, they got the 5th pick in the draft.
Yeah. Bro, like it's like a momentum snowball. Like they're just winning right now, dude. Like, and then the Broncos are sitting there looking at the draft from home, and they're like, "Fuck, dude! Like, what did we do?"
So now. We're going to go to John Dorn, and we all know this is going to be some sort of poem of John Dorn. Give credit where credit is due.
I give it to myself. No, I'm going to give it to Dan Campbell. No, just joking.
What? I was about to lose my mind. You give me shit.
Your offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson. I'm giving it to him. Because he turned that 1-16 round. Not fucking Dan Campbell didn't do it. It was Ben Johnson who did it. He is a phenomenal fucking offensive coordinator. He should have took that fucking coaching job. He should have ran. Because now he's not going to probably get a chance no more. He should have ran when he had the opportunity. But Ben Johnson, man, wasn't for him, that fucking Lions be fucking in the trash.
Hey,
all right,
can we also?
No. I'm going to end this show with Super Bowl Sunday. This Sunday is the Super Bowl. So we're going to end. We're done talking. We're going to end this entire show with who is winning the Super Bowl and what is the score. I'm going to go reverse this time. Lauren, who's winning the Super Bowl and what's the score?
Well, it's going to be Eagles in Kansas City. They're going to be the first time in history they're going to tie 9-9.
So who wins? Because that's impossible. You can't tie in the Super Bowl.
Well, we're going to have to because that's my fucking prediction. All right, I'm going to the Eagles 9-8.
9-8. Oh.
All right, so A-Dub, you're up.
Well, I'd say it's going to be 30 to about 23 in favor of the Eagles. Like I had Philly before the season got started. I already called it for myself and felt the Eagles were going to be the team that comes out of the NFC for the Super Bowl.
Well, it's better than Darcy. Darcy had fucking Lions beating the Super Bowl, so it's better than that.
Yeah. And
I had the Cowboys. To be honest, let's be honest. The Cowboys-Niners game was kind of fucking bullshit. Like, that was such a oh my god! Like,
it worked out.
Not only was there a bunch of just really questionable things that happened in that game, but what I will say is Dak Prescott all by himself lost that game. The Cowboys were a better team than the 49ers in that game, and Dak Prescott all by himself lost that game.
Now they're going to extend his contract. They're going to extend his contract. Why are they doing that?
Can we all be honest that the Cowboys should have beat the Niners in that game? Like, that was fucking horse shit. Like, I can't believe that. Anyways, go ahead, A-Dub. It's your time. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. If you were going to talk about anything questionable, how about the last play called game between the Cowboys and Niners? That's questionable for me.
Why are you running a play that Aaron Rodgers runs with Dak Prescott? What? You don't have Aaron Rodgers. You know.
You had Ezekiel Elliott as your center, who got destroyed.
So what I will say also, when Pollard got hurt, that changed the entire game.
Yep.
Like it really did, because if Pollard never got hurt, I'm willing to bet that the Cowboys I'm willing, maybe not whoop them, but they're beating them. They're beating them that game. And the Niners were not built to beat the Eagles. They just weren't. The Cowboys actually, it has nothing to do with being built to beat the Eagles. The Cowboys are a rival of the Eagles. It's like watching the Packers, Lions and Packers, Bears and fucking Viking, whatever you want to call it, right? That's a division rival. It's a completely, entirely different game where the Cowboys actually, because specifically of Micah Parsons, they could have had a chance against the Eagles, whereas the Niners just got smacked, man. That game, I don't even care if Brock Purdy never gets hurt. They're getting smacked that game. They were not ready for that game. Christian McCaffrey, I'm still going to say that was a bad trade. You guys gave up way too much for this guy that didn't change the needle. Like, you could – this guy, Elijah Mitchell, could have gave you the same production that McCaffrey did. You traded an entire draft for a guy that you already were one of the top rushing teams in the league. It just didn't make sense to me. But
they should have traded for Justin Fields.
Well, Kyle Shanahan.
He's a damn good running back.
Kyle Shanahan.
Shut up, John Dorn.
He's like Hill, you know, fucking magic player.
One's got to think for them to make that trade. Kyle Shanahan values that run game that much.
Yeah, so it's a fault of theirs. I like either way. A-Dub, go ahead and finish what you were saying. Eagles and Chiefs, who's winning?
Yeah, I got the Eagles winning this game because I felt when it comes to the way they match up against each other, Kansas City, for me, I don't trust much of anything from their defense.
What's your score?
I think I already said it. I'd say Eagles win 30-17.
You did say it. Damn, you got it. Oh, all right. We're gonna move on to Ken. Go ahead, give it to us.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles too. Just because, like you said, I don't trust Kansas City's defense whatsoever. They've got a little bit of a pass rush, but the back end I have no confidence in.
I can't wait for my turn because of the things that you guys are saying right now. What's the score, Ken? What's the score?
We'll go 27-21.
How can we believe you when you fucking think Dan Campbell is a fucking?
Joe, go ahead.
Man, it's a tough one, dude, for me because like Kansas City, when they hit the playoffs, they turn into a whole different animal, dude, and I hate them. But
it's different.
But
dude,
they also that's when they got their ass whooped.
Yeah, but they still managed to win, and I mean, there was some questionable bullshit in that game too. But at the same time, like, it's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Continue talking until I get back.
It's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes, dude. Like, but at the same time, I think the Eagles' defense is what's going to win it for him. Like, I think the Chiefs are going to get their points. I think that their pass rush will get to Jalen Hurts a bit, but I think that the real difference in the game is probably going to be Jalen Hurts running. And, also I don't think that the Chiefs have anybody in their secondary that can cover AJ Brown. So I'm going to go Eagles. I'm going to go Eagles 27-23. And I think Patrick Mahomes throws 2 picks. Because that Eagles secondary is just raw, dude.
Yeah.
And their defensive line is absolutely just game wreckers, dude. So Patrick Mahomes is going to be running for his life, but he's still going to Patrick Mahomes. I think Kelsey's going to get a touchdown or 2. He's still going to Patrick Mahomes, but I don't think it'll be enough. Yeah. And I think the turnovers ultimately are what is going to decide it. I think he's going to throw a couple of interceptions, and that's going to, be the deciding factor.
Yeah. Yeah, you got that right about the defense of the Eagles. Like, when it comes down to guys like Fletcher Cox, Hassan Reddick, or even they even drafted a beast in Jordan Davis Davis. Like they got
Nakobe Dean, and they got Hargrave Javon Hargrave.
Yeah.
Or Hargrove, I mean.
Look, guys, I'm gonna give my take, and let's be honest. My take is always right.
What a win.
It's always when I talk that's the best, right? Let's be honest. Oh, more? Okay. Calm down, people. Calm down. Just kidding.
So is this like a new segment at the end of the show where Nick fillets himself?
It's Nicky Lake.
Nicky Lake.
So let's put this in perspective. The Eagles, as much as Joe so badly wanted the Niners to win, I let him know that the Eagles are only 6 less yards per game away from the Niners. Not only that, in the turnover part of it, in the sacks and everything they accumulated together, the Eagles actually had a better defense than the Niners, in my opinion, like as an accumulation of a defense. And I think they really showed. It didn't matter if Brock Purdy, if fucking Jimmy Garoppolo, it didn't matter who played that game. The Eagles had a better defense than the Niners did that game. They did. And I know that Joe hates that because he loves the Niners, but
okay, time to end the show.
Yep. This is what's gonna this is what's gonna happen. The Eagles.
Shut up, Isaac, you Clippers fan. He's a Clippers fan. Shut up. So
you're a Lakers fan.
Fine. So, actually, you know what? We'll get to you, Isaac. Give me a second.
Go Bucks.
The Eagles have such a good defense that's hard to bet against them, but they don't have the aggressive, gnarly, nasty defense that the Bucs did a few years ago that absolutely demoralized Patrick Mahomes and his offense. They don't have that type of defense, in my opinion. So the fact that you have a mismatch, misfit type of wide receiver accumulation, the way that they do with Tony, with Juju, with MVS, the factor here is that you have Kelsey who just there's no way to guard the guy. It doesn't matter who you have. You could bring back Patrick Surtain. You could bring back Champ Bailey. You could bring back Darrelle Revis. I don't care who you have. Charles Woodson.
Actually,
you bring back all of them.
Actually, the Bengals trade the dude Flowers on the Bengals. Actually, he's covered Kelsey extremely well in the games that they've played. I just want to point that out. There's one guy in the league
Jordan has
that can
been
cover
covered very well by bums before, also. So every once in a while, there's a guy that disrupts you for no reason. Do you know Shaq? Do you guys remember Big Country? Big Country
Reeves.
guarded Shaq like no one ever has before. First of all, Big Country was a bum. He's not a good player. He wasn't. He was just a starter for a few years, and he was like serviceable, I guess. He stopped Shaq a few times, and Shaq can dominate anybody, right? So my point is, fine, Joe, I'll give you that. But the fact is, I don't care who you are. When it comes that, like, there's always Jared Alexander, Justin Jefferson, right? So Justin Jefferson.
This is what's going to happen. The Eagles, the Eagles are going to win.
No. I didn't finish. I didn't finish yet. Shut up, Isaac. I did not finish yet.
He's playing Rob.
Let me give you a titty twister.
No one comes in here until I finish.
Whoa. That didn't sound right.
So
hey,
anyways,
I'm gonna let you finish Kanye West style.
So anyways, this defense is elite. It is immaculate, but it's not the same like in your fucking face type defense that I watched the Bucs have. I truly believe this is exactly how I truly believe this is going to work out. The Chiefs defense is not going to stop Hurts. It's just not going to happen. It's impossible. Patrick Mahomes, I'll never bet against Patrick Mahomes. 37-34 Chiefs, and it's only going to happen because the Rams-Bengals Super Bowl. You watch what happened at the end of that. There's going to be something that happens. There's going to be some way to make it so that it's rigged, and someone somewhere made it so that Vegas wins somehow, and the Chiefs will have some sort of penalty somewhere at the very end of the game, and they'll kick a field goal and win the game. They're going to win 37. The Eagles are going down. It's exactly how I feel. Isaac, the floor is yours.
Okay, this is what's going to happen. The Eagles are going to win it.
Oh, never mind. Shut up, Isaac. You were.
No, hold on. Let me finish it. Hey, Eagles are going to win it. Like, and Mahomes is going to get traded to the Packers, and Joe's going to sign a petition to have 150 Raider fans trade Devontae back to the Packers. Oh,
you're crazy.
It's over. Yeah.
What's your Super Bowl prediction
Joe's
for real?
It right now. You see him. He's
what is your Super Bowl prediction for real?
All right, my real prediction is I actually do got the Chiefs winning it because another piece that they're activating is CEH, Clyde's Hilaire. Even though like Eagles do have a pretty good defense, Mahomes knows how to use those weapons. Now he has Hilaire back. He has Pacheco. He has.
Let me give you a name that's gonna fuck them up. It's McKinnon. McKinnon is the
really
big.
Good. Yeah,
bro,
really
McKinnon has been slaughtering lately.
I don't care what Eagles have on their side of the ball. Like, they have nobody for Kelsey. Kelsey's going to find a way to get open every single time. And I think Mahomes is going to work his magic. And
unless it's Flowers, right, Joe? Unless it's Flowers.
And then
I'm just pointing the fact out.
I don't know.
Does Flowers play for the Eagles? Does Flowers play for the Eagles?
No, he plays for the
side of the
Bengals.
ball.
So then, shut the fuck up.
Another side of the ball is Chris Jones. Chris Jones is balling this whole playoffs. He's looking like fucking.
Yeah, he's
looking like
I
Von
know.
Miller.
He's been looking good.
He's looking
He
like
really
Von Miller.
has been coming alive.
Yeah, he's been eating people alive, just coming out of nowhere, just wrecking.
So
fucking
I
offensive
just
lines.
want to put a PSA out there real quick because we're talking about the Chiefs. PSA, Packers fans. MVS's 600 yards and 2 touchdowns all year doesn't mean that we missed out on MVS, just so you know.
Yeah.
It didn't change the season for us. It wouldn't have changed anything for us, just so you know.
The thing is, what's funny about the Chiefs and Mahomes is even if they lose the Super Bowl, they'll be back in it next year. Like they're primed for a run.
I really think
every year
you're going to win like 4 or 5 Super Bowls, and you're going to have a LeBron James versus Michael Jordan fucking argument. Like, by the way, because it's the end of the show, kudos to LeBron James breaking one of the greatest records in sports history. I don't care what anybody thinks about LeBron James or how they feel about him. I don't give a shit. I'm just giving out kudos to the guy that broke one of the.
Did he cry?
He broke one of the hardest records in history to break. So kudos to that guy. LeBron James, you broke the most points in history, which nobody thought would ever be broken ever. So I'm just giving out the shout out. Go ahead, John. You had something to say.
I just wondered if he was crying because he broke it. But he cried about everything else.
Either way, he broke the record.
That's good for him, yeah.
He cried for Argentina.
Did he get his cookie?
Did you say, does he do cocaine, or did you say was he cooking?
No, does he want a cookie?
Oh, a cookie.
Cookie.
It depends where you get the cookies from. But
from California.
Famous.
Oh, shit.
What's wrong with California, motherfucker?
They got the best cookies. They got the best cookies.
That better be all you say about California.
I sure want to live there.
Hey, Dorn.
Well, there's a reason I don't.
California every day.
There's a reason I don't anymore, and Isaac is the only one that actually lives there anymore.
I know.
Hey, you still got a gas stove? You still got a gas stove?
No, that's New York that's pulling that bullshit.
Is it New York?
Oh, man. Here's John Sullivan.
The fucking governor here trying to push that crap when she's got it in her own house.
Yeah.
I love when John Sullivan comes onto the show. Oh, you want to come at me? All right, go ahead, John. Go ahead.
No, I just remember that week the Packers were playing the Bills. You said that Jalen Hurts was not a good quarterback. He said he had something to prove still. Does he still have something to prove?
I don't remember ever saying that.
Yes, you did. I remember it.
I think you're I think you're
you
way.
said that you said that he still has something to prove, and has he proven it?
Yeah, like I may have said that he has something to prove. I didn't say he wasn't a good quarterback. I may have said that he still has something to prove because, in my opinion, if Jalen Hurts didn't get hurt, he would have won MVP. I really think he would have. Now, that's like middle of the season right there. I don't recall saying that he wasn't a good quarterback, but you may be right that you're quoting me saying he has a lot to prove. Now, if he never got hurt, he would have won MVP, and that would have been proof, right? So if I ever said that, then I was wrong. He has nothing to prove to me anymore. He's great.
Well, considering at the time he only had one loss, I think what were they like 12-1 or 10-1 or 11-1, something like that.
When he played us, I believe they were 11-1.
That's damn good. That's really damn good.
I truly think
Eagles team.
Hey, Jordan Lobo was came back that game and win it.
So, John, what I'm saying is I don't believe I ever said he wasn't good. I don't believe I ever said that. But I will agree with you that I probably did say that he has something to prove, which I still felt like in the middle of the season, right? Like, I don't think I ever said he wasn't good, though. I think I'm pretty sure in halfway through the season, I said he looks pretty damn good. He's got to prove, though, because I'm not convinced that he's that good.
Hey, you know what he's proven, though? He can throw a football other than Fields, you know?
Let's all agree on that, right? Let's all agree on that. Fields can't throw a ball.
Let me ask you a question. Do you agree with the Patrick Mahomes getting the MVP? Do you feel like that was?
I absolutely do. I really do, because if Hurts never got hurt, he should have won it. Josh Allen, as great as he was, Patrick Mahomes at the last quarter of the season just fucking absolutely turned that shit on. Like,
well, not just that, but I mean, think about it. A year ago, he lost Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins, and I mean, it's just like you think that they would still be good, but not like top status, and they're still top status. So,
look. I think that Mahomes deserved it this year in the way that Rodgers deserved it last year. There was a lot of controversy. Who should have won it? Like this guy, you could argue this guy won it last year, whatever. I think Mahomes was a very safe bet for the NFL to give the MVP to, and I think he deserved it.
Yeah.
Mahomes balled out this year.
Just like offensive player.
Real quick.
I believe he deserved it.
But John Sullivan, I get what you're getting at. I understand what you're getting at, because now we're talking about should other people have been deserving and gotten that award? Yes, I agree with you. Yes, there should have been other people that maybe should have won that award. Just like Tom Brady last year, as a Packers fan, should have possibly won the MVP last year over Rodgers. I agree. Possibly. But the NFL is going to save their babies, man.
You know what? The other reason why Mahomes deserves it is, other than Kelsey, like, who else does he have? He has injured Juju that played like 4 games. He has MVS that shows up once he wants to, feels like it. He has Jerick McKinnon, you know, who's
McKinnon is a great weapon. I wish we had McKinnon.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is.
See, Mahomes just really didn't have the weapons that other.
I'll bet money that John Sullivan would rather have McKinnon than Madison. I'll bet money on that. McKinnon is a weapon.
We had
McKinnon has great receiving hands.
We had
no, I'm talking about now, not previously. I'm talking about now.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Isaac has valid views though. Like this is why, because Mahomes is being looked at as making wine out of water with what he had. But I definitely get what Sullivan's getting at. I do get it.
But remember what you guys said, at the beginning of the season, you said that Aaron Rodgers is going to distribute the ball. He's going to be a well-balanced team. Even without the superstars, he's going to make these guys look good. And that's what Patrick Mahomes did last season.
Yeah, basically.
With the people he had.
Yeah, but the thing is, difference between Rodgers and Mahomes is Mahomes had some veteran wide receivers, even though they're not great, so to say, but they're veteran wide receivers. Rodgers is working with rookie wide receivers.
But Mahomes did do a lot more than I thought he would this year. And let's be honest, guys, giving Mahomes the MVP, even if you disagree, you can't sit there and go, we didn't deserve it. He does deserve it, though.
Yeah, he does.
You also got to give Andy Reid his credit. Andy Reid knows how to get players.
One of the best coaches in history.
When you can have fun, like do that tornado play, they all spin around and then
he knows how to scheme.
That's actually a really good question. Andy Reid, in my opinion, is a top 10 coach in history, if not top 10-5.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, top 10-5.
And he's turned every quarterback into gold that's played under his system. You know what I mean? Every quarterback, Alex Smith, whoever it was.
The Eagles didn't win not because of Reid. It's because of what happened situationally. First of all, should have won that the Patriots. I still can't believe they lost that Super Bowl. With a broken leg Terrell Owens.
You know who's the one quarterback that Andy Reid can't fix, though? Justin Fields. But anyways, Mahomes is
if Andy Reid if Andy Reid bounced and went to the Vikings, John Sullivan would go, "Watch Kirk Cousins this year now, buddy."
Hey, Mahomes is just that guy. He's just on another planet. He's on another plateau of a quarterback. You know what I mean?
So John,
he's a guy.
But John poses the question. John, who do you think should have won then?
Mahomes.
So then, okay. So then, why'd you pose the question? Is my question now?
I just want to know if you guys agreed with Patrick Mahomes getting it, or
okay.
Because it's kind of weird. To a degree, it's kind of weird to see Justin Jefferson get Offensive Player of the Year. And it's just like, okay, he got Offensive Player of the Year.
If Jerry Alexander didn't take his lunch money and he broke all those records, I would be right there with you saying, you know what, Justin Jefferson should win MVP, right? If Justin Jefferson smacked Jerry Alexander down to the ground and broke all those records, he should be MVP. But
or take his helmet and smash in the F referee.
But
do you know what happened though? He got bodied. Let's be honest.
But even
really
the
turned it on
players
too
get
was
shut down in games,
Joe Burrow.
So it's life, Even the greatest cornerbacks get burned. They have bad games. That's just part of the game.
Dude, Jerry Alexander got burned like 100 times this year. I trust me. I know what you're talking about.
Hey,
what I'm saying is with the MVP thing with Justin Jefferson, I actually think Justin Jefferson should have been like top 3 in MVP votes. I really do. But when Jerry Alexander did what he did to him, you can't justify that for MVP at that point.
Hey, the other guy that turned it up was Icy Joe. Icy Joe was just killing it. Yeah, towards the end of the season.
But he didn't Mahomes it. He didn't Mahomes it though.
Yeah, he didn't Mahomes it, but Icy Joe was literally slaying the ball. You know what I mean? Like, and then
he really did kill it at the end of the year.
I mean, other than this loss, he's also a guy that beat Mahomes 3 times. You know what I mean? He's got that little record against Mahomes.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys a question. Who would you like to see win the Super Bowl, and who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
What? We're all NFC team fans. Obviously, we're rooting for the AFC, right? But here's the thing. As a Packers fan, we have 4 Super Bowls. I don't want anyone to challenge that. So the Eagles only have 1, and the Chiefs have 2. I'd rather see the Eagles win because if they have 2, it doesn't challenge us in any. If the Chiefs,
I want to see the Eagles win. This way they can trash their city down and we can watch it.
Hey, the short answer.
But if the Chiefs win their 3rd, there's a lot of years left with Mahomes, and I'm not confident enough that Mahomes isn't going to win more Super Bowls. So I don't want to see anybody get more Super Bowls than Green Bay. So I want the Eagles to win.
How many
short answer, John, is
4, right?
Yeah.
John, the short answer is the Houston Texans.
Yeah. What'd you say? What'd you ask, John?
How many Super Bowls does Green Bay have? 4, right?
4.
4, okay. San Francisco has 4. Dallas has 4. Pittsburgh
no, San Francisco has 5. Dallas has 5.
Yeah, that's right.
Steelers have 6. Patriots have 6. So the Eagles have 1. The Chiefs have 2. I'm rooting for the Eagles because I want 2 and 2. And I don't think the Eagles could win more Super Bowls. I honestly think Mahomes is going to win like 3 or 4 Super Bowls. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, who's going to stop him from getting to the Super Bowl? Like, who is?
I'm the only person here who would like to see Kansas City win it.
Burrow's the only guy. Look, Josh Allen had his chance, but he kind of fell off. But Burrow's the only guy that can challenge him. You know what I mean?
So John, to answer your question, to be honest, to answer your question in the most honest way I possibly can, I would love to watch a great Super Bowl, whoever wins, have great food with great friends.
I just don't want it to come to be a blowout. I want to come right down to the wire.
Okay. Well, now, who do you think will win?
Eagles.
I think the Chiefs are going to win.
You think the Chiefs are going to win? Wow. I think the Eagles will win, but I'm rooting for the Chiefs.
I would never bet against Patrick Mahomes unless they were playing the Bucs again.
This is a really tough one because, Eagles are playing great on all 3 levels, but the Chiefs.
But they haven't played anybody recently, though.
Hey, but they still have talent on all three levels. They
100%.
still
They're well
still
balanced.
have talent on all three levels. Their
They are.
special teams is good. Their defense is good. Their offense is good.
I mean, if you can get to Mahomes' face, I mean, get in his head, he can become crap. I mean,
I don't think the Eagles' defense is the Niners' defense, or I'm sorry, the Bucs' defense a few years ago. I do not think the Eagles' defense is the Bucs' defense from a few years ago. I just don't see it. They're not the same. Smash you down into the ground faster, better than you. I don't see it. I think that the Eagles have an amazing defense. I don't think they're going to stop Mahomes, though. As well as the Chiefs' defense is not going to stop Hurts either.
I would say like the Eagles defense is more comparable to the 2019 49ers. Remember, the 49ers were leading the Chiefs, and then the second half, Mahomes just picked them apart.
There you go.
So
the Eagles have great components, but the Bucs defense, when they won that Super Bowl, their defense was one of the most hardcore. It was like the Ravens defense. It was like pound you into the ground defense. You know what I mean? Like demoralize you defense. Your offense, and let's be honest, the Chiefs' offensive line this year is much better than it was in years past.
Yeah, like we said earlier, Jones, he's really picked it up. That Jones, man.
So I'm taking the Chiefs. I would never bet against Mahomes unless it was the Bucs. I might actually go to Wendover and put money on the Chiefs, to be honest, because I'm pretty sure they're underdogs right now.
Yeah, they are.
I'm taking the Chiefs by 3. I really am. And I'm about to go put, maybe a few thousand down on the Chiefs. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow.
Who's going to have the first touchdown? With Kelsey, or is it going to be MVS, or who do you think is be?
I get it. So it's going to be Juju. It's going to be Juju. It's going to be a little dump off to Juju. The second touchdown is going to be McKinnon. Watch McKinnon be like of the offense when it comes to the red zone.
I bet Clyde's Hilaire gets a touchdown in there.
Now that he's, I mean,
you guys are making it going to be like 40 to 17 or something, huh?
I think Jerick McKinnon has solidified himself as the red zone running back for that team. Like, he never not scores when he's in, you know what I mean?
There's a beast too. Is Pacheco. Pacheco's going to take over that running back. Fucking.
But he's only going to run you. But Pacheco's only going to run you to the red zone. That's the thing. McKinnon is going to get you in the end zone.
Mm-hmm. He can break
a close game.
Dude, for real, let's be honest.
Right down to the wire.
Let's be perfectly honest. This is a really good game. This is a great matchup.
We hope so.
It's going to be a really good game.
I don't think that any team has a shot at blowing the other team out. I really don't. I think this really is a great matchup.
This game's going to be so great. I'm going to watch the Super Bowl commercials, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
This game is so good that Ken's going to shave his beard off.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think the old lady might get mad at me.
Let's make a bet, Ken.
Yeah, no, not with.
Yeah, no.
I think the old lady pissed at me for that one. It's got to be something I actually care about.
Hey, Ken's gonna shave his beard, send it to Nick so he can wear it as a mullet.
There we go. Maybe then she'll be okay, as long as I'm giving you some hair plugs.
Ken's Amish village told him he's not allowed to shave his beard. So let's bet this, Ken. If Rodgers doesn't come back, you shave your beard.
I'm going to say I'm for Rodgers coming back.
If Rodgers doesn't come back,
okay. I'm sorry. I misheard you.
So you're shaving your beard?
If Rodgers doesn't come back yet, you know what? I'll shave her. But hold on. If he does come back, you got to grow yours out for the whole year.
It's gonna be the ugliest thing you've ever seen. But
I don't give a shit if it's patchy as hell.
I'm 50%
Nick
native,
like Matt
so
Flynn.
it is patchy. But okay, bet that is a bet.
Yeah.
That is a bet.
I'll
If
do it.
Rodgers comes back, I will never shave my beard until the end of the season.
18th, yep, the 18th game after the 18th.
You gotta-
But if Rodgers is not in a Packers uniform this year, you shave and you come on this show with your
Week
shaved
one,
face.
week one.
I'll
Before
come,
week one.
hold on. I'll straight come on the show and shave it live.
Yeah!
We can have a whole show just about that.
Hey, Ken, you should have upped the ante. You should have told Nick he's got to shave his pubes and put on his beard.
Well, that's a given.
Somehow.
We now have a bet. If Aaron Rodgers comes back and plays for the Packers in a Packers uniform, I cannot shave until the end of the season. If Aaron Rodgers does not play in a Packers uniform this year, Ken has to shave his beard live with us and show his pretty little face.
Oh, yeah. I'll shave her down. The thing is, my hair goes back fast, so I'll be all right.
Did someone in your house just ask why?
No, not me. Ain't nobody here with me right now.
That's a great bet right there.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be fun watching fucking Nick with his big beard.
I agree. You know, Nick, to everything you said, I think it's gonna be a good Super Bowl. Everyone thinks that the Eagles are gonna win it and win it. You know, they're gonna stomp the Chiefs. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think
it's gonna happen.
I just want a close game. I don't want no blowout. Those games get boring, you know. It's just
I just want a great game with great friends and great food. To be honest, I just want it to be a good Super Bowl.
I think the only person here who would like to see the Chiefs win, but I think the Eagles are going to win. I just don't want the Eagles to win because I hate their fan base. Yeah. They're one of the worst.
I want to see their fan base just destroy their.
Well, maybe you should stop fucking with Rocky.
I'm with you on this one, John. I'd love to see it.
That's not even it. Like if you went
stop fucking with Rocky.
Yeah. Leave Rocky alone. But fuck up the whole rest of the fucking city.
If you three were to go to a Packers Eagles game in Lincoln Financial, they would throw stuff at you, try to fight with you. They
wouldn't throw it at me. I'll tell you what, they wouldn't throw it at me. I would knock their dicks in the dirt. So they wouldn't throw it at me.
But you're talking about a big mob full of trailer trash people right there.
Hey, well, if they threw it anywhere near my wife or my kids, they're not throwing it at me because I'm not joking. It's not going to go down the way they thought.
I was going to say we travel pretty well, so you can have some backup.
All right, buddy, let's get it. Let's get it.
You're beginning to sound like Joe Thibaut, man.
Nah, well, I don't lie about it though. I'm Larry Bird. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you know what? Let's go live. Let's shoot some threes live. I'll go live with you. We'll both go live. He was like, nah, we'll make a video. And I was like, bro, that guy is so delusional. Like, anyways, it's kind of like when I was in the Bronx when I watched the Giants play the New York Yankees, and everyone is like literally like coming up to me like, what? Like in my face. So I grab my infant daughter that's on me, my infant, brand new born infant daughter. And I give her to my wife. I'm not joking. This is how Yankee fans are. They were willing to fight me holding my infant daughter. That's how crazy this was. I'm not joking at all.
I have not a doubt in my mind about that.
This is the Bronx. I'm not joking you when I tell you I'm holding this little brand new baby, and they were like, what, bitch? Like,
who are the Yankees
playing? I was like, okay. So I hold my little potato daughter and give it to my wife, and I go, here, walk across the street, walk down to the car, because this is about to go down, and I'm not joking. Then I go, okay, now that my daughter's not in my hands, what? Like, it was like, what are you going to do? Like, in my face, and it was like, dude, like, it was like a plethora of fans like, you're a Giants fan. I'll fuck you up for no reason. They won the game. The Yankees won the game too for no reason.
I know Yankee fans get into it with Boston Red Sox fans. They get into fights. When Boston comes to the
We
Bronx,
went and watched a Giants game. I'm a Giants
we're gonna
fan.
say
Who
it.
gives a fuck?
It doesn't matter who the hell the opponent is. It's the New York mentality of
They
you're
got
not
right
here,
in
you're
my
not from here,
face.
so you're getting that.
Holding my brand new infant daughter. I'm not even joking you. Like
I've been to a Yankee game at Yankee Stadium when the Twins played them in 2015. I never anticipated that. I never.
Well, then you got lucky because I swear to God, everyone was like, take the jersey off. And I just looked at everybody.
They don't fuck with guys.
I gave my daughter and my wife. My wife went across the street and I went, I'm not taking my jersey off. And they were like, take the jersey off. I was like, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Someone say something. Go ahead. Someone say something. And there was this, like, these homeless people were jumping in too. Like, oh, fuck you. It was crazy, dog. Like, and I'm not joking, in the Bronx, they're the worst. That's the worst fan base I've ever seen, ever. That is classless. You are the least class in the history. I've gone to Raider games and watched people tip porta potties on people. I've watched people fuck each other up and go to. I've been to many stadiums everywhere around this country. The Bronx, the New York Stadium for baseball, the New York Yankees. It was the best thing I've ever seen. It's the classless, most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life, ever.
I'm just surprised you went to the Bronx. That's what surprises me.
Again, with my little infant daughter and my wife, and I walked in with our jerseys, and I went, "Go Giants, bitches!" And we lost. So after the game, here's the crazy part: if someone's holding their little daughter, their little kid on them, right on their shoulder, I'm not running up to you going, "What's up? What's up? You want to fight, bitch?" Like, that's the thing. Mm-hmm. That's what they did to me. And I'm not joking. I was holding a little girl on my arms, on my shoulder, and they're literally like threatening me to fight me. And I'm sitting there going, okay, hold on. Your wife, run that way. And here we go. I think that's how it went. Worst fans I've ever experienced.
I'm surprised because usually at a Yankees game, police presence is really hyped up.
Are they as bad as the Bears fans?
There was no police when that happened. There was none.
Plus,
and my wife went across the street. She went up to the car, and here I am in the middle of a bunch of fans going, "What's up, then, dog? Do something!" And everyone's like, "Yeah, fuck your team." And I was like, "I thought you just said you were gonna punch me in the face, though." Like, it was one of the wildest things I've ever been a part of, because I've gone to Green Bay games. When I went to the Green Bay Packers game, we hated the Seahawks at the time. 2016, we fucking hated them. But the whole time we went, "Hey, man, good game. Hey, man, I hope you enjoyed the stadium. Hey, man, enjoy the game." You know what I mean? Like,
that's how Vikings. That's tailgate in Minnesota too at US Bank Stadium. I hear just everyone's friendly. Green Bay.
I have heard that about the Vikings games. I've actually heard that the Vikings games are actually really wonderful to go to. So
yeah,
I like to go. I ain't too far. You know, for me,
I'm not gonna be wrong. Support your team, but I mean, to beat somebody up because they're opposing team, that's ridiculous.
Well, I've gone to a lot of Oakland Raider games, and I've gone to a lot of Oakland Raider games when they were in the Coliseum. I watched people throw each other down the stairs, and their cement stairs, like their stadium is trash. Like, man, I've watched too many. Yeah.
Hey, not the
too many
topics. Hey, John Dorn, what's your thoughts on Detroit Lions?
Detroit Lions, same old Lions. Until they win some, they're the same old Lions. They gotta win at least a division, win a playoff game, or at least get over fucking 10-digit, at least double-digit wins. You know,
the Detroit Lions were a better football team than the Vikings this year.
No, I asked that question because John Dorn was talking trash on Saturday night's open mic thing, and then Steve came on and just ripped him one.
Same old Lions.
Did you get fucked over, John Dorn? Did you get ripped?
No.
Yeah, he did. Ask Bill.
What?
Ask Mike.
Tag me in it. And I'll tag me in it. Tag me in it so I can rip this motherfucker. How about that? How about that? I don't give a fuck what you say, John Sullivan. Yeah, you better leave. Tag me in it. I'll rip that motherfucker apart. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Tag me in it.
I don't even know. Yeah, it was one of the shows. One of the Lion shows.
Oh, it was a show? Was that?
Yeah.
Well, where's the show? When's the next show? Put me on it. When's the next show? When's the next show?
Actually, I don't even know. I don't even know what fucking show it was. It's some Lion show, but there's so many of them, like 2 or 3 of them.
I know Ken's sitting there. I know Ken's sitting there going, "This is why I joined Nick's show because."
I mean, it's entertaining.
Nick's gonna rip someone, right, Ken? Nick's about to rip someone today. Bring me on the show, John. John, next time that you're on the show, bring me on the show. I want.
They're just acting like, oh, they're 5-1. We're the best team. No, it's like, dude, you guys haven't done shit. Do something.
Bring me on the show. Bring me on the show, John. This is what I do. I rip people. This is what I do. So here's what we're gonna do. Look, we've gone way beyond our quota. I have a wife and kids. Thank you guys for being on the show. I'm so glad that Frozen Tundra Network got back on, because this is gonna happen every week now. I'm gonna do it even if it's just me every single week. We're doing it every week.
As long as you give me a little bit of heads up, I can usually be on.
Haven't missed one yet.
Me and Bill talked about it, and we're like, dude, I don't give a fuck who doesn't show up and who does at this point. We're doing it no matter what at this point. It's better for our product, for our pages, for everybody that watches. So this is what we're doing. Thank you so much, John Dorn and Ken. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to end the broadcast at this point, and
see you next Friday.
Yeah, we'll see y'all.
Go Pack, go, and fuck the Lions. No, it's fuck the Bears. Same old Lions, and Vikings are chokers.
There you go. That's a good ending.